Hello and welcome to the Strategy of the Week for March 9th. My name is Angel Clark, an instructor here at VectorVest. Imagine if someone walked up to you and told you they had a system of investing so reliable it was practically a license to print money. You'd think they were full of, well, let's just say beans, right? And even if they weren't, why would they tell anyone else about this so-called incredible system? What if the next thing they told you was that this system could be implemented with practically no training, no experience, and would take you less than 10 minutes a night? Well, that's the point you start looking around for a security guard, or the men in white uniforms, because now you know this guy must have escaped from somewhere. Well, tonight, that guy is me. From the safety of your computer, you can watch as I show you the simplest and fastest way that you will ever find to make money in the market. That's why this week's strategy is called a surefire success. It begins just over 3 years ago when the market was still in a terrible correction. Dr. Delito chose that time to have a contest, and it was a tough contest because even though the market was going down, you had to make money buying stocks. We love to short at VectorVest, but not everybody else does. Some people are even uncomfortable with contra ETFs. There had to be a solution for them as well, and Dr. Delito was determined to find it with the help of our members. The result of the contest were 3 amazing strategies, but 2 in particular caught VectorVest's attention. They were our first and second place winners: Silber's Singles on May 2nd of 2008 and Blyer's Bottom Feeders on April 25th of 2008. You probably recognize those names because they appear in the Derby winners on almost a daily basis. The concept of both these searches was bottom fishing, getting into stocks that had been beaten down in price. They used VectorVest's unique indicators, specifically RT, relative timing, to find the most exceptional values in the entire marketplace. You see, RT, when sorted in ascending order or when used as a denominator, instantly finds the stocks that have been beaten down the most in price. Dr. Delito's own experiments with RT led him to create the mother of all bottom fishing strategies, Jailbreak, also Derby famous. And Steve Chappell, Director of Education at VectorVest, featured it in his Strategy of the Week on January 9th, 2009. Talk about bang for your buck. We saw these stocks go up hundreds of % in just weeks. Yeah, the market was going up, but not like that it wasn't. So clearly this phenomenon merited further investigation. And investigated it was. On March 6, 2009, Dr. Delito wrote his famous essay to our readers, saying the market was itching to rally, and presented for everyone in that week's Strategy of the Week 5 bottom fishing strategies. We back-tested these strategies even during the worst downturn, and they still made money. That's because VectorVest's market timing signaled exactly when to buy and exactly when to sell. Every single one of them made money going forward. They simply exploded off the bottom in March. Well, that's all well and good, but it's not 2009 anymore. So what about today? I hear it all the time, and you may have too. It's too hard to make money in this market. It's too volatile. Stocks are overpriced. It's too risky with the economy, and on and on and on. I'm sorry to say it, but those people are wrong. At least if they have VectorVest, they are. Because these bottom fishing strategies are still picking winner after winner. And the VectorVest timing system is still signaling exactly when to buy and when to sell. So here comes the next round of objections. VectorVest has too much information. There's too many strategies to choose from. I don't have enough time to learn about all the signals. I work and can't trade during the day. Now those are pretty good reasons, and I understand all of them. But VectorVest has the solution. You only need to know 3 things to make money with VectorVest, and they can all be done after the market is closed for the day in less than 10 minutes a night. Number 1, don't buy stocks unless you have a green light. Number 2, when you do have a green light, run any of the strategies in the bottom fishing group to find your stocks. And number 3, sell your stocks when they meet your stop loss or if we enter into a confirmed down. That's it. You don't have to stress over which search to pick. All the bottom fishing strategies have proved amazing. You don't have to stress over the stop criteria. Just about any reasonable stop loss will work. If you want to go further, you can. But it's strictly optional. The 3 steps that I just named are the only essentials you need to find winners like these. This is Global Geophysical Services. It was found just a few months ago by Bottom Fishing and Rising Industries, and it's had more than a 40% gain since then. This is exactly the date you would have found this particular stock in this search. How about Netflix, found by VST Mighty Mites in December? That's had over a 55% gain since it turned up in the strategy. And if you're more conservative, try Blue Chip Bargains, VST divided by RT as the sort. That's high VST stocks with a relatively low relative timing, meaning they've been beaten down in price. This strategy found Hollycorp at the end of December for more than a 50% gain. Then there's Silber's Singles, the contest winner I mentioned. This strategy found Call on January 9th for over an 80% gain. But we're still not done. Jailbreak, Dr. Dolito's own strategy, on January 17th turned up Imperial Sugar for a 95% gain. Here's where we found it, and here's where it is now. You can see actually at the peak it was up even higher. Blyer's Bottom Feeders, our second place contest winner, found Sears Holding on January 3rd for a 155% gain. And finally, Bottoms Up found ALIM on January 3rd for over a 200% gain. Every single one of these dates that I mentioned was a green light on the color guard. And I picked winners from all these different strategies to demonstrate how powerful all the bottom fishing strategies are. These are also all very recent winners in what has proved to be a very tough market. And while not every stock that you find is going to go up 200%, these bottom fishing strategies have proved themselves over and over and over again. Don't worry, I will definitely prove that to you. I just wanted to whet your appetite a little bit and prove that winners like these can still be found today. Let's switch over to the program. I want to walk you through the process I'm talking about. Then I'll show you the results that should clear up any doubt at all that you can make money in this market as long as you have VectorVest on your side. Let's start by going to the views. Normally, you would find the color guard right here on the home page. As you can see, we do have a green light today. And with the green light buyer, you never have to worry about missing the beginning of a trend. You can jump in as long as you have that green light in the price column of the color guard. We do recommend closing out of positions when the confirm call changes to a confirm down. But once that happens, you can buy again on the first green light. Since we're going back in history, though, we need to turn to the views to see what the color guard would have looked like. First, I'm going to go to 12/19 of 2011, and you can see that's where we had this red block. That's a confirmed down signal, our most recent one. So if we go to this date, that information is reflected right in the trend column that you normally see on the home page. You can see by earlier on the color guard was bullish, transitioned into bearish, got fairly bad for a while, but started recovering just a few days later. So I'm going to go to the 22nd. There we are at our confirmed down. Next day was a yellow light. The day after that was a yellow light. And then on December 22nd, we got our first green light in the price column after that confirmed down. So that would have been the earliest to jump into this trend. And that meets the criteria for step 1. Wait for a green light. It means go ahead and buy stocks. Now step 2 was to run any of the bottom fishing strategies to find your stocks. It just so happens that the Derby winners, the one-day winners listed above, 4 out of 5 of the strategies were actually in the bottom fishing group: Pirates Long, Blyer's Bottom Feeders, Russell 2000, and Silber's Singles. Highest performer? Pirates Long. We don't have to choose that one, but let's go ahead and start there and see what happens. To find the strategy's bottom fishing group, you just go to Unisearch. That's our search engine. It's all alphabetized by group, so we're going to scroll down to the strategy's bottom fishing group. Click it to open it up, and there are now 18 different bottom fishing strategies. You hit Run Search, And about 2 seconds later, you've got your stocks. So we'll try Pirates Long. Here are the parameters. And these parameters, if you want to know more about them, are explained in this description box to the left. Notice our key sort, relative value divided by relative timing. High capital appreciation potential, beaten down in price. We got our green light on 12/22, so let's change the date. And run the search. I'm actually not even sure that took 2 seconds. The top 10 results are the best stocks for this particular strategy. These are the ones that you would consider buying. You just visit your broker's website, put in your orders. It can be done at night. You can set them up as limit orders or have them execute at the market's open. Let's see how the top 10 performed. We'll hit the quick test, and this will show us the price performance. So for this basket of stocks from December 22nd till now, remember we haven't had a confirmed down signal, this basket has 80% winners with an average gain of 16.5% versus the market, which is only up 9% during this time. That's pretty good. But as I mentioned, you don't have to use a Derby winner. What if you like the looks of bottoms up? Let's run that strategy, and we'll see how it did. Pretty good. This one also had 80% winners, one really big one, and 33% on average, for an annualized rate of return of 155%. Now that's just telling you the pace that you're making money at. It doesn't mean that you should buy and hold these stocks for a year. These are the type of stocks that often exhibit wonderful short-term gains. So you get in and you cash out. Let's try another one. A very prudent-oriented bottom fishing strategy would be the S&P 500, either the up or the RT ascending. Let's try the up. Run the search. E-Trade, Abercrombie, Bank of America. We'll quick test the top 10. Not bad. 8 out of 10 winners. This one wasn't a wow performer, but it's keeping up with the market, even though we haven't added stop criteria or anything else yet. And it's had at least one big winner in Bank of America. Let's close out of this and try the S&P 500, sorted by RT ascending. For Solar, Sears, Netflix, E-Trade, Amazon, very familiar companies, different companies though. These bottom fishing strategies all have different criteria. So they're finding the same type of stock, but they're also finding a variety of stocks. This one did pretty incredible as well. Once again, we see 80% winners, 23% average gain, and definitely outpaced the market. The point is, it's hard to pick a bad bottom fishing strategy from this group. They all use the VectorVest indicators like relative timing, relative value, relative safety, and VST to find the best bargains in the market. No one else has that, and I've never seen it so easy to find them. Again, whatever search you pick though, just go to your broker's website and put in your order. You can cherry pick your favorites, buy all the top 10, or just buy a few at a time whenever you have a green light. Now for step number 3, selling. You only sell when your stop is met or we get a confirmed down signal. As you saw, both are shown right on the home page. So even if you're really slow at logging in, it'll still take you probably less than a minute to see that information. Then you visit your broker's website and check on your portfolio. You sell any stocks that have met your stop loss. You could use a trailing stop, maybe a 20% or a 10% if you like a tighter stop loss, or just a simple gain loss like a 30% gain or a 10% loss. I tested several different stops, and I'll show you how it worked out in just a second. First though, we couldn't have been talking about this at a better time. Today we received a green light. If you're on a trial, or maybe you're just fed up with the market, here's your opportunity to prove to yourself that this trading system works and start down the road of making money for a lifetime. Best of all, you don't have to risk a penny. run a bottom fishing strategy that you like tonight. I'm going to choose S&P 500 up, up, up. I really like that one. I'm going to change the date back to today because we have that green light. We're at the market's close. That's just fine. We'll click OK. Run the search. It came up with DeVry, Titanium Metals, General Mills, PepsiCo, etc. Just by highlighting these stocks and right-clicking, I can put them in a quick folio. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and US Steel makes 10. We'll right-click. There it is, quick folio. This allows us to set up our portfolio. We'll name this Surefire Success. Let's just start with 25,000. We don't have to use a lot. And one of the reasons for this is what we just reviewed in the timing section is that VectorVest is advising us to use caution. We're still seeing signs that the trend is weakening. We don't have to use any margin or interest, and we want to be long. That's what buying stocks is. So click on OK, and that's it. It's done. If we go to the Portfolio tab, there's our portfolio that we just created. Now you just paper trade this portfolio. That way you get to see the results without risking anything at all. A large part of trading success is confidence. So believe me, this is not a wasted exercise. To paper trade this portfolio, just follow the process we talked about. Log into the system each night. Check to see if any of your stocks have met your stop loss. You can even set VectorVest Portfolio Automation to automatically send you an alert when it happens. I'll show you how to do it. We have our portfolio selected. Go up to Manage Portfolio. Set Portfolio Automation. And we're long. So let's say for a stop loss, we use the gain loss. And we'll do a 20% gain or a 10% loss. Actually, let's make it a 30. That way our winners are 3 times as big as our losers. That sounds like a good ratio to me. Here's where we choose our action. So when the stop criteria is met, the system will send an alert, which is an email, or it will close the position as well as send the alert. So let's choose close position. And we don't have to worry about anything else because we're not going to repurchase unless we have a green light, and we want to check that out for ourselves. So we click OK, and we're all set to paper trade. If you get an email that one of your stocks was sold, check for the green light. And if you have it, run a bottom fishing strategy and put the new stock into your portfolio. You can do that by selecting Add Trade. You're already on Buy Long. Let's just say, for example, it was Apple. Not exactly a bottom fishing candidate, but it's a stock symbol I know. And put in the date. It'll automatically default to the most recent date, however many shares that you want to buy. And if you click on Get Price, it'll put in the last close to the minute. We have commissions in there. And then we just hit Apply. Of course, I've already spent all my money, so it's telling me I don't have enough. After you hit Apply, though, all your trades will be listed down here, and then you just click OK. We'll cancel out of this. And that's it. I know it's hard to believe that something so incredibly simple works, and I am very skeptical. So that's exactly why I ran hundreds of tests to prove it. If someone tells me that something is surefired, they better be able to back it up. So let me explain what I did. I'll go to the market timing graph, and we don't need all this stuff. So we'll just take it off. As I explained earlier, a green light buyer can jump in the market anytime there's a green light, but the earliest they jump in is the first green light they see after a confirmed down. I looked at several times over the last 3 years where we had a confirmed down, and I avoided the bottom in March of 2009 just because I knew any bottom fishing strategy would have enormous results at that time, and I really wanted to see practical, consistent results. So the first test I did was from the period of July 10th, 2009 to December 3rd, 2009. I'm just going to switch this to the green light buyer and select the 10th. Now that was red because it was a confirmed down signal, and that's when we close out of all positions in the green light buyer system. For my end date, we'll select December 3rd. Which was another confirmed down. So this is the period that we're talking about. Pretty good time in the market. If we put on our markers, this red triangle shows where we had the confirmed down signal on July 10th. These yellow circles show where we either had a red light or a yellow light on the color guard. In this case, that lasted until we got to this green triangle, and the green triangle means that there was a green light in the price column of the color guard. Again, you don't have to worry about all this. All of this information is shown clear as day right on the home page. When I got this green light, I went ahead and bought 10 positions, the top 10, from my bottom fishing strategy. And I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I actually tested all 18 strategies in the bottom fishing group. So I didn't cherry pick just one. I also tested a variety of stops. Whenever I was stopped out, I waited until the next green light to buy positions. Now, this green light lasted for quite a while. You can see there were about 6 days in a row where we had a green light in the price column of the color guard. So I could have replaced positions all during that time. When I hit that yellow period though, I stopped replacing things and just used my stops to manage my positions that I already had. And I just continued with that process over and over again until the confirmed down signal that happened on October 28th, 2009. At that time, I would have closed out of all of my positions and started again at the next green light. Something I want to point out here too is this confirmed down signal. It doesn't look like much, but the market did continue to go down further after that. Waiting for this green light to occur and exiting out of positions in the meantime locked in our profits and helped us get in at another excellent point in the market. The next period I tested wasn't quite as good as this. It was from December 3rd. I'll just close this up. To May 7th of 2010. And you can see it got pretty ugly towards the end there. We also had a pretty severe pullback in prices. Here's our confirmed down signal. And here's the first time we would have bought stocks on December 14th after the confirmed down in early December. I also tested the portfolios on the turns from August 19th, 2010 to May 13th, 2011, and the most recent rally we've had, November 17th, 2011 to March 7th, 2012. So that's 4 different periods, 18 different searches for every period, and then I also tested 4 different stops for every single one of those searches and every single one of those periods. A 20% trailing stop, a 30-10 gain loss, a 50-20 gain loss, and some baby bite stops that came from our original Midnight Cowboy strategy. These were a 9% gain with a 4% loss, and the other one was a 3% gain or a 10% loss combo. This all added up to over 300 portfolios. Let me show you everything in the simulator.